We're live. Diana, thank you so much for being with us tonight after a long day of work. Diana Chichur is a vitreoretinal surgeon now in Kiev, a medical doctor, still operating, still standing. Despite, she said to me this morning, I woke up, no water, no electricity, and yet somehow she gathers the strength to go to work, to support her patients, even though there's a lot of uncertainty around you at this point, Diana. I'm so thankful to have you with us tonight. Thank you for making the time. I can imagine how tired you must be. Um, so first of all, maybe give us a little intro so people can understand who you are, and yeah, go ahead, please.
My greetings, Rebecca. My greetings to all from Ukraine. It's evening here. Yeah. Well, I've been working as a vitreoretinal surgeon for the last 23 years. I'm in Kiev. Our life changed a lot since the war started, and it's already 8 months of the war, of this disaster. We are trying to cope. I can't say that it's easy, but all we can do is just continue our work and do our best to achieve good results and somehow to support our country.
Yes, so you were telling me how you got home and 5 minutes before our call, the lights turned on, and because I was thinking, oh my God, will she have Wi-Fi? Wait, will she have energy? Will she be safe in a quiet place? Will there be a moment for us to talk? And I'm so thankful that we have this 1 hour at least together. Hopefully, it will be uninterrupted. But maybe, one thing that came to my mind when I discussed this idea of having this call with you, how are you coping with the level of pressure? And your work is so high pressure in a normal time, let alone in wartime, in the middle of an armed conflict. You work with eye surgery. There's nothing more precise and more high pressure than this, I think, in terms of a job. I mean, it's more than a job, it's a passion. And I just want to understand maybe your routine. Tell us a little bit about how your day goes on a non typical day in Kiev as a medical doctor.
A bit I want to tell about feelings. Certainly, if we are under the pressure, we should ask ourselves how we feel. It's important to understand our feelings. Which need is not being met, and what we can do right now to be satisfied. We should also understand what are our long-term goals, and somehow have some actions to contribute these goals. My day starts from basic routines, of course, if we have electricity and if we have water. Right now it's quite challenging. Yeah, then I'm examining patients, giving consultations. When I have a surgery day, I go to the operating theater and perform my surgery. Certainly when we have air raid warnings, we are trying to be at the safe place in bomb shelters. When I'm at the operating theater, I stay there because we have quite safe place. It's an operating room without windows, protected with two walls. It's kind of protection, we can say. Yeah, and also when we have a lack of electricity, we have special generators which allow us to perform surgery during 4 hours without electricity. So it's a really big thing for us. And our clinic where I'm working, it's a private clinic, supports our work, and we are able to do what we do. Of course, we have a lot of soldiers that are coming from war, very damaged, without arms, without legs, some without eyes, or some without very difficult injuries. We help them. We perform surgery. We are doing that for free, without any charge, free of charge, and it's our contribution to support people. People who lost their homes, work, they also come to our clinic and we help them. We make really good discounts for them so they can afford the treatment.
Yes.
And also, we are performing charities. We gathering money and buying cars for the soldiers and sending to that active places. We are buying some clothes for soldiers. So we are trying to support them as we can, because we understand that we are fighting on our field, and
Yes.
this field is medicine, and trying to help as we can, trying to do everything we can.
And
And I can say that this expression, like to be in the moment or to live in the moment, this phrase is as relevant as ever. Because we don't know what's going to happen to us tomorrow. So we are trying to cherish simple things, and we understand that safety and life is the most valuable thing.
well, yeah, I guess you don't make long-term plans. I suppose you live day by day. Are you just going to work and back, or is there anything beyond that during the week that you said, oh, my gym got bombed, and we were thinking, is it even, something we can fit into the week when there's so much uncertainty around you? How do you decide on what's a priority and what's not? That's probably one of my, yeah, I'm curious about that. How can you prioritize clients, tasks, demands? Do you have a system for this?
Well, to have a system, you can have a system when you have a normal life.
Yeah.
When when you live in a wartime, it's just impossible to have, because your plans can change any minute. So, as I said, to live in the moment, prioritizing things during the day. And certainly, we are all just human beings. We can have anxiety, we can have uncertainty, but of course, it demands some emotional intelligence to cope with that, to understand that we just need to somehow to interact with the real world, with the new real world, and adapt to that. So if some situation occurs, I'm just trying to adapt to that and do my best. And if I have those bad feelings or caused by those uncomfortable thoughts, I'm just trying to be active, to do something, right? So it doesn't mean that we are not reading, we are not listening to music, we are not meeting with friends. We do all that, but certainly it's a different quality. It's not the same. You can't relax. You are always in tension, because any time can be like air raid warning, and it doesn't allow you to relax.
Yeah.
Yeah, people started to be more sensitive. Even I can say about my patients, they're very thankful, and they're very grateful for those simple things we do for them. Even when they come to our clinic for examination or surgery, and they need to charge their phones, we can give them that support. and we can see tears on their eyes. It's such a basic thing, but in this reality, it's really important for them. And I think that for our nation, for Ukrainian nation, it's a really, it's like rebirth. We are together now because we have an enemy, outside enemy, and we need to support each other. Because if we are strong, if everyone is aware what he needs to do, some small steps, small contributions, we can win, and we will be much stronger. I believe that.
So, would you say that this has gotten you to a point with your colleagues, your peers, of a closeness that you wouldn't otherwise have without this common enemy?
I mean, when people going through some challenges in life, they can open themselves much better, and they can show the best they have inside. Because when you have everything, you take it as a granted. You don't understand what is the real value. And when you are losing it, only after that you are aware that before you were really happy, because you don't need much for happiness. Everything you need is just simple things, to have your healthy family, job you are passionate about, friends, relatives around you, and just happiness inside, nothing else.
Yes.
And mm, when I hear some comments from people that they don't have this or that, and they are complaining, I understand it's just nothing comparing to the war. Everything you should do is just to go forward and do something, to act, not to be stuck in the situation, because it creates anxiety.
Yeah.
And
So your coping with anxiety was taking action, helping people, doing stuff.
absolutely, absolutely, yeah, it's the only thing. And there was one psychiatrist, Viktor Frankl. It was a quite famous story. He was in concentration camp, and he said he wrote in his book that only those people were able to survive who were doing what they know the best. You know, you just keep going and trying to be professional in your field. And I would say that it's kind of advice. If you want to understand that your profession is your real passion, you should get yourself under the pressure. And under the pressure, you are able to reveal your best qualities and being really professional, because it will prove that you are on the right place.
In the right job, in the right function. So
Exactly.
you mentioned this the other day. How do you know you're passionate about what you do? Because you said to me, Rebecca, I don't even see time passing by when I'm in the operating theater. And I said, well, maybe it's because you are operating in your genius zone, which is the zone where we don't see time. Time flies, just like when you're with your loved ones and you're having a great time. Would you say that because you love your job so much, maybe you are so highly performant under pressure?
Yeah, I think, yeah, certainly. I mean, if you love what you do, you don't. You don't count hours. You just do, and you enjoy it, because you can't imagine your life without that. And I have to say that I feel such a great satisfaction when I can perform surgery for those soldiers who are damaged. And uh, it's mm, it's incredible feeling, you know. Uh, this profession is really not about money.
Yeah.
It's about seeing those happy eyes
Yeah.
after the surgery and those grateful people. Yeah, first of all, it's your passion, and everything afterwards.
Would you continue in this field even though, um, yeah, if you know, when the war stops, and hopefully it will very soon, you're going to continue doing what you're doing, or you're thinking about doing other things? How would you imagine the rest of your career pause war?
Well, as you mentioned, we don't create long-term plans. We
Yeah.
can have some long-term goals, but certainly not plans because it's different. You can have a goal and you can achieve that in time, maybe. But right now we are not planning. So yeah, I would love to continue to do surgeries and help people. Also, one of my passions is psychology. I'm also a psychoanalyst by the second education, which helps me to cope with some kind of difficult patients because with retinal surgery, it's about retina and it's a part of the brain. So sometimes it's not easy to really to communicate and make a really good quality relationship with patient because it's a teamwork. It's not only me and
Okay.
my colleagues. It's also patient who should be responsible and understand the main of the treatment, possible results, um, and be responsible for his action. I would say that.
How do you cope though? What is your some people will play hard, work hard, play hard. I mean, there's got to be an outlet for you. I mean, are you even getting enough sleep? How do you get? It's not like you can book a massage after your long day of work. I don't suppose you have access to those. How do you resource, replenish?
Well, I have to say that yeah, I have a lack of sleep.
Yeah.
That's true. Even when I want to sleep, my thoughts they don't allow me to do that because almost every night we have several times air raid warnings, and during that time, especially when they're lasting quite long. You're not sure what's going to happen. During the night, we are not going to the bomb shelters because it's already cold and cold, dark, and you're just trying to stay behind two walls in some way to protect and be quite safe. Yeah, just taking energy. I mean, it's really through communication with people, the listening to music, reading books, I don't know, some walkings if it's possible. And basically, it's difficult to say where to get that energy. It just, it's like with brain, we are not using our brain for 100%. It was proved that we are using like 10, maybe 15, maybe someone 20% of the brain resource. The same with energy. Sometimes I don't know where to get that energy, but I know that I just have to, you know. So it's like you feel responsibility for your family, for your colleagues, for your patients, for your country, and you just keep going. It's like when you are under the pressure, you can't realize your real condition. Only when you go somewhere and you are able to relax, only afterwards you understand where you've been at that time. You know,
How much?
yeah,
Well, it's so so your job is so creative. I mean, you're an artist, and so usually for that to happen, people need to be feeling safe, rested. They have to have a few requirements that a few boxes need to be checked. But when you're in this position of flight, fight or flight or freeze, which is kind of what you're doing, this is where you are today. How much more energy you need to dispense in order to be this artist at the operating room. It's a big leap that you have to take on every day, and just put your emotions aside and be completely calm. And plus, it's a very precise. I mean, you can't shake. You can't even have a drink the night before. I don't know how you cope. Then it's incredible. Seriously, I just it's a whole new level of pressure that you are able to surmount and yet perform. Where where have you trained? um, and also, how long can you last? Because I'm sure people are telling you, come on, move away from there. Let's find you a new job somewhere else. And you are a very good surgeon, internationally known, and you're still fighting for your country there. So I guess the question is, not how long, but um, how do you perform under this? There's got to be a secret. You got to be a superhuman in some way. For how long do you have okay, I will do it for this long, and then I will probably need to travel and go and visit people outside of my country. And by the way, can you even travel? And is that an option? Yeah, how are you planning to escape for a little bit at least? No, and you can. I guess you feel so responsible for those people that you're treating.
Rebecca, surgery demands concentration and ability to control your emotions. Otherwise, it just doesn't work. That's why in a vitreoretinal surgery, I would say, and now I will come up with some gender question. There are mostly men, not women, except of those women who have man's brain. So I used to that tension, and if there's someone in our audience who is a vitreoretinal surgeon, they will agree with me that it's absolutely amazing field in ophthalmology, and demands very high level concentration, because you can deal with very difficult situations, unpredictable, and you should stay calm. And what does it mean to stay calm? It just behind that, you should be professional, right? So you can control your thoughts, because if you control your thoughts, you control your emotions. It's like automatically. So you don't allow yourself to panic. You don't allow to express some negative emotions, because you understand that it doesn't help you. And the same way, it doesn't help to your patient.
Yeah.
And if you are responsible, you can cope with that, because any situation you can handle it if you are high skilled, and behind you are many years of experience. And at such difficult time as we are living now, we can prove whether we are professionals or not, because this situation really demands sometimes not standard approaches.
Okay.
And you should calm not only yourself but also patients who are not sure if they should go for surgery or not, because it's about safety, right? So you just need to explain them that everything will be all right, and give them those arguments that they will trust you.
Yeah.
So well, you're asking how we are doing that, how I do that. I don't know. I don't think how I will do this or that. I just do that, based on my experience. Um, and it's also about humanity, about all those values, because I would say that our values change a lot. Um, Everything we want just to support each other and help each other, and just being kind, and you know it's different. I have to say it's different. This war, it sounds maybe for someone quite strange, but this war has also some positive influence on people. It always, any bad thing, any challenge, um, helps us to understand real values in our life. And yeah, we are able to travel. If answering your question about possibility to travel, we are able to travel. But if personally me, if I'm traveling, because I used to go for the conferences several times this year, I'm traveling to the western part of Ukraine by train. After that, I take a transfer and traveling to the closest airport in Budapest or in Košice. And from that place, I take a flight in that direction I need to go.
Yeah.
So it takes me like 2 days to get to that place I
To
want
an
to.
airport, basically. 2 days to get to the closest airport from Kiev today. Oh my God. Wow.
Exactly. The most dangerous road is going by train to the western part, because anyway, you don't know what's going to happen on your way. Because if we have a air raid warning, the train stops. It can stay like 4 or 5 hours during that air raid warning, and we just, and train is late, certainly it works this way. But and all lights are off. Yeah,
Wow.
it's
Oh,
it's the
wow.
main rule. It's the main rule. So I remember when I was traveling at the very dangerous period, and yeah, our train was like 5 hours late. We were staying like 5 hours just waiting till the air raid warning will finish. Yeah, and it's quite uncomfortable feeling, I would say, because you are somewhere you don't know where you are, right? So it's you feel more safe even when you are at home, because you some way can control that, you know this place. But when you are in the train somewhere, you just don't know, anything can happen. But anyway, you should go. I mean, you have a goal, and you just go and do that, right?
Oh my God, Diana. I just, this is, can I ask you, amongst your colleagues, has anybody lost their mind? Everybody's still operating normally? Do you see people losing their cool, I suppose, around you? And that can also be disturbing. Or is your team still standing? How is everybody else?
Yeah, I have to say that we have a great team,
Okay.
and yeah, all are at work, supporting each other. And we just today we had a meeting where we talked about this work under the pressure, and how lucky we are that we have such a great team, supportive team, and people who guide us and help us to cope with this uncertainty. And when you know that people around you think the same way and support you, and like open-minded with kind hearts, it makes it much easier. Yeah. And and when you are busy at work all the time, you don't have time to think, to be sad, or to feel that anxiety. You have no right, basically. You have no right, because if you are professional at work, you have to help people. And when you are not able emotionally or mentally, you just you can't work. So everything we can do right now, it just focused on our work. Everything we can do our best, and that's it. Not to think what's going to happen tomorrow, after tomorrow, or how sad I am, or I'm depressed. We have no right for that. We can do that afterwards, when war will finish. But now we should take that energy from somewhere, I don't know from where, but anyway, and just keep going. Yeah.
How can, we support you here since we're here? Is there anything, I mean, there's a lot of things, of course, that can be done, but what is the most urgent need? If you were to ask for support, would it be more professionals in medical, doctors? Like, what would be the most important thing that you can think about, that we can also ask people to contribute? If it's money, if it's like right now, to make your life and the life of your clinic and your patients and your team easier, is there anything you could wish for?
Well, I just today I noticed one article that Switzerland gave Ukraine 100 millions to support our energy system. By the way, yeah. So yeah, we have sometimes lack of consumables for our surgeries, and basically now we have lack of electricity, lack of water, some issues with heating system, those basics. Also some equipment that we can't buy here because of problems with connections and all those things. But in general, we have all we need. I think the main what we have is people who want to work. Yeah, well, European countries and United States, they help us a lot, support us. But as we can see, it's always not enough, because war continues, and we should remember that we should keep that in mind, that when someone somewhere has morning coffee or playing with kids, our mornings, they don't start with coffee. Our mornings start with air raid warnings and some attacks and people dying and all that stuff. So agree with you, right? We need money to just keep going and working, just live. We need some supports, missiles to somehow to protect ourselves after our enemy. But it's never enough, because war continues.
And What is, I mean, I think I know the answer, but what kept you in Kiev when the war started? The easiest reflex would be, okay, I take my family, I take my two luggages, and I go live somewhere else until this is over. And you would have found a job, you would have found support with your skills eventually, and you decided to stay. Like when you took that chance, when you made that decision, what was going through your mind?
First of all, I want to say that I never felt so proud to be Ukrainian as I am now. It's this situation is just heartbreaking. I have to say that first month of the war, I was crying almost every day, seeing how kids are dying, women, pregnant women, all families. It was just unbearable. And for some time, I was not able to work because our clinic was closed, because Kiev was the most danger. It was like a target for Russia. So we were not able to work. But then in time, we realized that we have to, and it was possible eventually. So we started to work, and it's like you understand that it's your contribution. You can't just uh, go away, or it's very easy to escape. It's the easiest thing you can do. And I never judged, and I don't do that now, those people who um, left the country and staying in other countries, because we are all different. And not everyone is able to cope with such difficulties. Um, it demands some strength and ability to adapt to new reality. Yeah, and as I mentioned before, you should have that emotional intelligence to understand that um, you should be flexible, being simply, you should be just flexible and adapt to the situation. And if all people in Ukraine will think that we should find some more safe place, who is going to build this country and who is going to help? So everything starts from individual, right? If everyone will think that now I will do my best to help my country, and it's also about responsibility. You can't just leave your city. You can't just leave all. It's in my understanding, right? And 3 weeks ago, it was really quite dangerous period when we had when more than 80 missiles were sent to Ukraine, and in Kiev, a lot of people died. And as I know, one of my colleagues died on her way to the hospital. Yeah, and her son, now without mother and also without father, because his father was killed last year also by Russians. Imagine, 5 years old kid.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was very tense period, and yeah, all my family was like voting that we should move from Kiev. But then we decided, like, let's observe and see what's gonna happen. And in this situation, you need to rely on your in some way on your gut feeling, that you feel that it's not the right time. We can handle that. And help, and work really helps. Yeah,
But
it
you
just
think
keeps you.
if you had a different job, if it wasn't in the medical field, it would have been easier to leave, perhaps?
Maybe, I don't know. I never tried different job.
You already found your genius zone early in your career. You were already doing the job you love and being so brilliant at it. Wow, I
But
am.
but Rebecca, I have to say that by this war, personally for me, something changed.
Yeah,
Something changed, and um, as I mentioned before, this war has very bad influence on people, but at the same time, it helps to reveal the best they have inside them.
yeah.
Um,
Wow. Okay. So maybe give us some of your, because you talked about gut intuition. I know my time here is not over yet. I have this gut feeling that I am connected to it, and I hear it, and I listen, and I obey, I suppose. Um, would you what would you advise our viewers to do in times of high pressure? Go with the data, go with people's opinion, go with your gut. How do you make decisions in those moments? Who do you listen to? Who is influencing you, or not? Who do you allow to form your to cloud your judgment or not cloud your judgment? And how are you, because you're watching the news, you're reading what's online, if you have access to internet, your family is saying one thing, your patients are saying something. Like, I don't know how you decide on the best course of action. Is it your internal voice that will guide you there? How do you make those decisions, Diana?
well, I would start from that when we are under the pressure and it's something new for us, some new feeling, new situation, we understand that we can't control that, right? And certainly it leads us to anxiety and grumpiness. After
Yeah,
that, we can be tired because we are tired of those feelings. But then in time, mm, there is a period of adaptation and some kind of stabilization.
yeah,
And when this period occurs, we should make some, as you mentioned about some plans or maybe some strategy. It's not even a strategy. It's understanding that now we have to cope with the new reality and just to adapt to new circumstances. That's it. And when we are under the pressure, uh, we we shouldn't allow our emotions lead us. As we all know, our emotions can be controlled by our thoughts. So you just keep doing what you do.
yeah,
Uh, you should be focused on your main job, trying to avoid other other thoughts. We are able to do that. Our brain is able um, to take only those thoughts we need right now. It's a big mistake that we can control our mind, our brain. We can do that, especially in some difficult situations. Yeah, gut feeling also helps, but what is gut feeling? It's kind of internal voice. Not always we are listening to that because we can be stubborn. We can say that, well, no, it's not logic. We shouldn't do that. I mean, it's out of logic. But sometimes gut feelings knows better what we need to do. When people in their profession, even not under that pressure that we are now, we're not talking about like not in the wartime, but maybe some job that is difficult to deal with, some new job, for instance, right, or some difficult environment. You just need to choose that goal you want to achieve and just keep going, and not trying to find excuses why you can do that. As one famous French psychoanalyst, Jacques Lacan, said, he mentioned that wish, it's a primary thing. If you have a wish, if you have a will, you can do anything. If it's truly your wish.
Yeah.
If not, you will find excuses. So we are all we are human beings. We can achieve anything. We can get to the sky if we want really. Certainly it demands strength. Not everyone has it, agree with you, but we can work on that anyway.
And you are a better surgeon, you think? After the war, you will come out with better skills, like a better professional, you would say?
Yeah, I think first of all, these new circumstances proved me that I really I'm just admire my job. I don't take it as a routine
Yeah.
anymore. I appreciate every day.
Yeah.
And I enjoy being in the operating theater, especially when we have air raid warning. I feel they're very safe somehow. It's my world, and I just love to be there, and certainly I love to have good results afterwards and to see those happy faces. And especially these days, patients are very grateful for all we do for them.
Happy eyes. I will remember that. Oh, Diana, I am so moved by your strength. I mean, your grace under pressure. You're so elegantly calm despite what is happening to you, and how your capacity to adapt is just beyond understanding. We have no idea how it is. I mean, with our level of pressure, it's a completely different ball game. And like you said, I think I appreciate more my work now that I've done it under this amount of pressure. Maybe I'm less routine oriented for sure, because you're living in the moment. So I guess pressure, I guess it's a tester of limits, of course. Some people are built for it, and I guess some people aren't. And there's no judgment, but it's just know yourself and make sure you make the right choices. If you have to leave, because it's probably more responsible if okay, I can't cope with this level of pressure. I need to go away. And but I really want to see you again in person. So I cannot wait for you to eventually, travel whenever you can. It would be a pleasure to meet you again and to talk about lighter topics, career development, and yeah, and how I suppose you will plan 2023. Um, if you have any conferences coming up, also it would be nice to 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 be made aware, and you can share this with us, and we'll share it with our followers. Is there any final words of wisdom that you would like to leave us with?
Well, I want to say that we don't know really what we are able for. We shouldn't be limited because new circumstances give us new possibilities, and we can relieve maybe some our talents we even didn't suspect and suggest to the world. And all I want to say that we should cherish people who are in our circle around us, to see only best, only good things in them, because they are also suffering. They also have their own struggles, and cherish simple things in life. Just understand that when you wake up, it's sun shining, it's a beautiful day, and you are alive, and all your relatives, all your family are healthy, and just live in the moment, be in the moment. I think it's the most important, at least for us. Maybe
Yeah.
for some people it will sound like really strange, but when you go through such challenges, you understand the meaning of every word.
That's your mantra. You probably wake up living in the moment, going to bed, not knowing how you're going to wake up. It is a privilege to live in a peaceful country, and we have to acknowledge that today. I am so thankful for your time, Diane. I know it's late for you. It's probably 10 o'clock, I think, in the evening, right? I don't want to hold you too long. I hope you have a peaceful rest, and I just cannot wait to be reunited soon. So thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank
Thank
you very much, Rebecca, for this meeting, for your invitation, and yeah, looking forward to meet you in person, definitely.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'll let you get some sleep, and hopefully we'll do another one next year, early next year, to catch up and update our followers on what's going on your
Thank
end.
you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Diana. Bye
Bye.
bye.
Bye.